King? I can't see. Is this working? Is it working? No idea. Can't tell. Refresh chats. Live chat. Multi. All right. So I think it's working. I think it's working. I think it's working. I think it's working. And it put my category in entertainment. That's horrible. Uh, yeah, that's totally horrible here. Save. All right. Whew. Okay. So we can see this. All right. So that's working. We got this guy going on here. We got Visual Studio right here. We got okay. I think this is working. I think it is. All right. So let me zoom out a little bit. Is that too small? I'm trying to like understand. Okay, the delay is only like a second or two. Ajmal, can you see that? Can everybody see that okay? Yeah? All right. So now the next piece is I need to run a console app and see. So that's my startup project because I want you guys to be able, you folks to be able to see the console. Oh, that's gonna fail anyway. This is some stuff that I just copied off the internet. I was trying to play with it earlier. So I'm gonna actually delete this all and do console.write line hello. All right, let's see. Because then I got to add another capture source for this here. All right, so a window like this is going to be a game capture. Specific window, and no, it can't be game capture. It's not game capture. And so I have to add, I appreciate y'all sticking with me for this stuff here. Window capture, add source, and we're going to add a new source instead. So this is going to be debug window, add source, window. Okay, so VS Console debug, and we're going to put you right over there. And transition. All right, how does that look? Yeah, I figured as much, Amy. Yeah, am I saying that right? Amy, I guess. All right, so we can see here that that is all right. Can someone like try and do one of those like subscribes or something? I want to see what happens. Let's see. Is this okay? Is that going through? Yeah. Okay. I see that. I see that here. Cool. All right. So like I see all these thingies that I just tried. Awesome. And then that just worked. Cool. Yay. All right. And there's yours. Awesome. 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 All right. I will have to play with that later. Okay, so let's now there's just one thing that I really want, and it's just this music thing because I really this whole music thing, it's like super helpful to do. So like putting this here, the app is popped out. Y'all don't hear any music. It's supposed to be in my monitor also. Let's see, chill, play. And all right, so I think this is good. I think the way this is working is really good. Still no music. Is it getting routed through XSplit? No. I did. Oh, that's actually a good question. I don't know. Let me see here. So I have webcam in a folder. There's this video capture device here, which I can deactivate. So the webcam is off right now, and Elgato face cam. It was like working before. God, this sucks. Like I'm gonna have to like get my money back or something from these fools. Refresh camera. So XSplit VCam. Activate. So that's XSplit. Now there's supposed to be in the mixer, there's supposed to be desktop audio. I had it playing audio before. Settings, audio, uh, default audio device. All right, so desktop audio. Yes, auxiliary device, enabled, disabled. So I think that works. I think that works. Streaming output, nope. Can't change any of that. Audio. Okay, so the audio device is going to be speakers. Yeah, speakers. All right. Yeah, because I can only use like this free music or else it's like a copyright thing. Um, oh, Ame. Okay, Ame. Thank you, Ame, for correcting me. I appreciate that. Um, okay, so configure default devices, XSplit camera, visual preset, headset microphone, XSplit camera. Okay, set up mic and webcam, skip. So that's this. Let me try and exit this thing because like that's ridiculous, dude. They like charge for this thing and still active. All right, exit. I see the camera is not in use. All right, so that's there. So XSplit, XSplit VCam because I want to like get this thing like going right. So that's webcam. We got Visual Studio going. I'm gonna give this like 10 seconds here to kind of do its thing. So it's black. I mean, that's okay, I guess. But the virtual camera, like split V cam. I think it's working. I think it's working. I think it's working. I think it's working. I see it's like blue. Uh, camera control, camera hub. So exposure. Yeah, so this thing's supposed to do like raw. It This looks like really crappy. It fell back into MJPEG mode, which is like not ideal. Status LED on when streaming, always on when streaming. That's why it looks crappy. Um, so noise reduction. Why is it doing this? Why did it change the format there? I don't understand. I did like a restore factory defaults, restore. I don't understand. It's Yeah, it's okay. You can yeah, just I have some chill music. Okay, so I think I just reset the firmware on my camera. Okay, and so I just reset the firmware on the camera because I did a firmware update and it was like not good. So reset, and this was at 120. All right, so I think that's good. Okay, so the format is in uncompressed. So firmware, restore factory default, transfer mode, bulk, automatic. So I think this is okay, uncompressed, good, white balance. Okay, I'll leave that like that. Close that. Use new camera. Hey! Oh yeah, it was that new firmware that screwed me up. It was that new firmware. It was that new firmware that screwed me up. All right, transition. All right. No, all the drivers are there. Everything's like working. It's just trying to get like all these pieces working together, kind of thing. Um, okay, so the camera keeps like resetting for some reason. Um, I have it plugged directly into USB 3 and not the virtual camera. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, folks. All right, so this is like depressing. Okay, so monitor only. Audio output set to stream only. All right, so I guess we can get started, I guess. Yeah. So then what I'm gonna do here so we can actually see things better is I'm gonna just do display capture and monitor and then automatic display 2 done, and we'll put this here. All right, so Visual Studio's here, and so I just shared my whole monitor, so that way we can see like all this other stuff. Yes. Okay, so all right. I don't know what's up with the camera yet, folks. I'll cry about it later. But all right, so yeah, I feel like if I just did like one last deactivate, Custom 60 video format. See, it doesn't even show it there, but that's the split cam. So if I just did the face cam, because like only one device can access the camera at once, I guess. So if I activate that and Elgato virtual camera, so please run Camera Hub and use the Elgato virtual camera. Oh, maybe that's why. Okay, maybe that's why. So this is supposed to be this, I guess. Preview for this. I mean, this is real messed up. Like auto white balance. Yeah. Uh, device default. Let's pause that preview in here. And Elgato face cam. Configure video. Device default. UUV, color space, flip vertically, custom, custom, custom. All right. So y'all get to see my messy office. I have to redo my office. Um, all right. So we're there. Did it work? Yeah, that's exactly, Ame. That's exactly what's going to happen. I should probably put these notifications off right now. Focus assist, alarms only. All right. So that kind of sucks. Damn, that kind of sucks. Like, because I was looking at this. So this is using like all CPU. The other software I have, oh, okay, so I could do this and all right. All right, so I can do this. Okay, that's working, I guess. Buffering, disable, no buffering. And okay. I mean, that's real weird. Global settings, audio monitoring. It drives me nuts that like I don't know where this stuff is. Can you hear when I like do sound and go like this? Like can you hear that? Oh, I have audio disabled on there. So speakers, let's send my audio to here. I think that's what that means. Yeah, I don't know. Default. All right. Whatever. Let's get going. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's probably from the microphone. Okay, so we have my headset microphone. We have there should be nothing from this video capture device here, but it still thinks that there's sound on there. Capture audio only. Oh, output desktop audio, direct sound. Interesting. Can you hear the Windows thing now? Yeah, okay, good. So I figured that out. So the audio for that is coming from there, and desktop audio is, yeah, that's weird, dude. I don't. I don't even know. I don't even know. Desktop audio, global settings, disable Windows audio ducking. I don't know what that means. All right. You know what? I think this is good enough. All right. So ml.net. So I was looking at this. So I haven't done this before. I've read a bunch of stuff, and let's see how we can get this rolling. All right, so ml.net, uh, ml.net C sharp. All right, so let me explain the problem. I just typed it up in this ml.net Discord here to uh, over here. So So I've got this interesting project. For those of you that have been following me for a while, one of the things I'm doing is hashtag accessibility project for the Fediverse and for like Mastodon and stuff like that. So basically, the idea is to make hashtags that are all lowercase, like New Jersey. Oh, can you like not even see this? There, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, folks. So now you should be able to see it. Transition. Should be able to see it now. Sorry, everyone. Real sorry about that. Um, all right. So basically, taking a hashtag like New Jersey, that's all one, lowercase, all one word, and then turning that into New Jersey, separating the two words, and then properly title casing it. Let me see if I can make this a little bigger. Yeah, there we go. So my first try, which is available to see live coding in some of my other videos. I use Google's Ngram dataset, which is a huge, huge data set. Google's been scanning books for years, and then they use OCR to scan them. And Ngram is well, for this context, you can think of it as like a word, right? A token in a larger context. So in a sentence, this is an n-gram. The word it is a 1 gram. This is a 1 gram, right? But if you combine it works, that's a bigram. This is a trigram, 4 gram or quadgram, I guess. And then, it's 5, 6, 7, 8 grams, right? Um, so that's like what's going on there. So I imported the unigrams, which is just like the one word, the one token, and it was like 900 gigs in Postgres. The bigrams on their own were like 3.8 terabytes. So like that's not a long-term viable solution because the other data set's just gonna like grow like tremendously. Like for the threes, the fours, and the fives, right? So I was able to have a conversation with Chat GPT about this. I consulted with them about it, and so I consulted with ChatGPT. So I explained what I wanted to do, right? And we went back and forth. We fine-tuned it, and so I said, let's try some test inputs in English. So I said it came up with some stuff. This is a very long sentence without spaces, and then it set them all up there. Then it did a bigger one, and it broke them all up perfectly, right? And then it added some numbers. Um, so I'm in this orange box here, and anyway, so in test case number 5, so I did like a leak code type thing, right? And I said it's stylized, and it says yes, it is using stylized. So leet speak dictionary could make a lot of sense. It suggested to use a leet speak dictionary, which was kind of cool. Um, so then I talked about the n-gram set, et cetera, et cetera, and I asked about the word carpet. So carpet is carpet, like you walk on carpet in your house or whatever, but that can be split up as car and then pet. Um, but if the word is carpet floor, the algorithm may have trouble identifying as a concatenation of two valid words, carpet and floor. But is it car, pet, floor? So, and then I asked, but carpet can be parsed as cart and pet, or just carpet. How can this be determined? And they say, yes, it's difficult without additional context information. So my objective is not to scan toots or anything like that for context. I don't really want to do that because that like opens the problem space to be a little harder. And hashtags, a lot of the times don't match the content um, necessarily. So ultimately, it generated some Python code or whatever, and I've never done Python, but I'm looking at this here, and so this default dictionary, it's just this is basically the Postgres server, right? Or this is the output rather, right? But then there's a vocabulary somewhere in here. But anyway, so it goes through and it like gets the substrings, and this is basically just um, splitting it up, right? So like brute forcing it, right? So this brought us to like an O to the nth time complexity there. Oh, and this other stuff is not here. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I was giving it like crazy inputs. Let me show you in Discord. I think I put some screenshots in here. I think I put some screenshots in here. This is the Hachyderm or the Nivenly Foundation. Yeah, Nivenly Foundation, which runs Hachyderm now. So let's see. So there's me. Nope. Uh, it's up here somewhere. Okay. So here, I gave it all of these long ones, right? I went and I took some hashtags. Here. I went and I took some hashtags out of my Mastodon instance, and these were long ones here, right? Um, and it went and did this to them. So this isn't even in English. And Kein Gewalt uh, Gergen S. Krafte, I guess that's German, draft three, a criticism of electronic arts. I mean, that's doing what I'm trying to do, right? So let me show you some of these, right? Uh, yeah, so this was actually a really cool thing that it was able to do this based on the conversation I had with it. But then, I have some other use cases. So like using other delimiters, like underscores can be there. So nobody knows, nobody knows, and then nobody knows, and then nobody knows, nobody knows. I was trying that again, and then I tried this, knob Adi knows, knob Adi knows. So that's exactly the type of behavior I'm looking for because when somebody capitalizes a word, you should stop processing and say that's a word, right? So the first is NOB, the second is ODY. The underscore gets translated to a delimiter as a space, and then the word knows is capitalized, right? So my question was, if you have no underscore body knows, it's no body knows, and then nobody knows. So is it no body or is it nobody? That's the thing. And that's the thing with hashtags, right? So like imagine some hashtag stuff around oh, let me pause that. Yeah, so imagine some hashtag stuff around like the stuff that was going on recently in American politics about the abortion stuff, right? Abortion bans. So there were plenty of hashtags like my body, my choice and stuff like that. Um, so like imagine a hashtag in that context, that whole abortion context, where it's like no body, which is like this, no body, like my human body kind of a deal. Um, so that's where it can kind of get tripped up a little and it won't have context, so it won't be necessarily correct. But that's okay. These are kind of like edge cases, right? I think, I hope. Um, but yeah, so that's there. And actually the person responded to me and said, that's a really interesting use case, Ame. So Anyway, so that's kind of there. And then there's, by the way, I have a Discord here. I'm gonna paste the link in the chat. Actually, I have one of these. Let me see here. So I have one of those like link tree things. Let's see. So in YouTube, oh, I really want to just like multi-chat, right? Which kind of sucks. So I could put that there, and I could put this here. Um, all right, so that went into both places. Multi-chat, refresh chat. Yeah, so that went into both places. There we go. So I have one of those, and I think there's a link to the Discord. No, of course, there's no link to the Discord. Of course, right? Anyway, um, I can't believe I forgot the link to the Discord. Like that sucks. So let me just copy that and I'll paste it so you all can join here. Invite people. All right, edit. Never generate new link. Copy. Link in bio, and then add a link. All right, so this is going to be Elon. So that's there, and then publish. All right, so you can refresh that link now, and that link, the bit.ly/m Elon codes. There's now a Discord link there. Yeah, this chat thing kind of sucks. I need to. That speech to text thing was actually really cool. Like I thought that was like awesome that it did that. Um, all right. Anyway, so but there's also a Discord for the FediMod software, which is the uh, edit invite link. This is for FediMod. This is the software package that we're talking about. So I'll link to it inside of the um, general here inside of the Elon codes uh, one right here. And yeah, everybody needs another Discord to join. So, um, all right, all right. So let's close that. So yeah, I think y'all understand that problem space. I can't believe people put up with this software um, for streaming. Like, I, I guess this is why people say use open OBS, open broadcasts or whatever. Um, it's just like such like a weird freaking thing. Like people have low standards with this stuff. Um, but I guess this stuff is also pretty hard, right? So anyway, and then all right. So everybody understands what we're doing, right? Yes, I think maybe.
Zarks2
Okay,
said
so
yes.
okay, cool. It's actually sending the audio to there, and you can like hear it. So that's cool. Um, all right, so now if I close this chat, um, yeah, I think this is good. Speech, enable speech, and yeah, I'll just put that there. And okay. All right, all right. So I'm gonna test this. Does this go in both places?
Me. Said test.
All right, cool. It went to both places. Awesome. That's really cool. All right, so I have one place I can chat in both places. All right, so ml.net, let's see. So
Zarks2
Yeah, it is back. You know
Said
what?
the TDS is back lol.
I have a trick for that one there. So I'm just going to change this to go to here. So say something one more time, Ame.
Zarks 2.
Perfect. Um, all right, perfect. And
Said test.
wow, that's like really weird, but okay. So, all right, so ML.net. So they have all these like simple use cases, sentiment analysis, product recommendations, etc. So what I was looking at was some of these samples here. So sentiment analysis. So we don't want binary classification, right? Because that's going to tell us is something good or bad in the case of sentiment analysis. Product recommendations. Recommend products based on purchase history using a matrix factorization algorithm. I don't think that this is what we want either, because this is more like looking for if one segment, if if a group of the population like certain things, it's going to cluster those things that they like and then say, okay, um, here's somebody else's um, here's somebody else's likes, like think Netflix. Um, you like those movies on Netflix, you do like the thumbs up or on a YouTube video. How does it come up with suggested videos? So this will look at all the people who like this video and look at their history and build a model out of that, or a matrix out of that. And then it's going to take your history and the things you liked and build a matrix and kind of like figure out the overlap there to recommend a piece of content to you. That's my understanding of that. Um, Price prediction. So taxi fare is based on parameters such as distance traveled using a regression algorithm. So that's definitely not, I don't think, what we're looking for here, because that's more of a, if the distance is the same, or similar, we can kind of use like a basic, as I say, regression model to come up with the projected price, right? Okay, so customer segmentation, groups of customers with similar profiles. So this is data clustering. Object detection. So this is using Onyx models. Onyx is a standard, from what I understand, for models. Um, and so we're not looking at images here. Fraudulent credit card transactions using binary classification. Again, that's out. Sales spike detection, changes in product sales using anomaly detection. So this is like, okay, something is now different. That's not what we want either. We're not doing image classification. Sales forecasting is also not what we're doing, right? So custom ML made easy with auto ML. So I tried like some of this stuff, and it didn't work with the stuff here. But this is cool. Like this is the kind of stuff that it can do. Um, so I mean, I guess that's pretty cool, right? All right. So I already installed this stuff here, but none of that. You see, none of that kind of like sounds like what I'm looking for here. So here's more. So they have binary classification, multi-class classification. So this is like, for example, the iris sample. Oh, and I clicked the image. So it's to take me there. So this iris sample basically is saying, given a bunch of parameters, let me see, did they show the data here? So I guess with flowers, there's like properties like the length of the petal, the width of a petal. I don't know what a sepal is. Oh, I think the sepal is the thing that sticks out in the middle of the flower, maybe. I don't know. Um, so anyway, like this is like, for example, what the test data looks like, right? So
Zarks 2.
based on these numbers, that will kind of
Said yep.
determine if it's an iris flower, right? So like that, yeah, it's like, I guess, is it close enough and it predicts, right? Oops. So then, so so we don't want multi-class identification. So the MINTS data set, that's the one where it's like handwriting recognition. So that's a cool one. The MINTS set, my understanding is that's used as like a gold standard to test like that kind of stuff. So there's no images here, but Yeah, that's kind of like what they're doing here. Um, so this is all multi-class, and then we have recommendations. We don't need recommendations. We don't need regression models. We're not trying to predict something here based on prior data. Um, we don't need time series stuff because that's very similar. We don't need an anomaly detection. Um, we don't need clustering. Oh, something just like beeped, and I have no idea what it is. I have no idea what any of these sounds are. To be honest with you, no idea. Um, so anyway, yeah. Um, so this is computer vision. We're not doing that. Cross-cutting scenarios. So scalable model on web API. Scalable model, scalable model. So this is like, I guess we have a model that scales and we're doing other things. So this large data sets one looks interesting. And we don't really need to, so we might want to look at that. But notice there's not a lot of like language stuff here. Like not a lot, there isn't any language stuff there. So that's kind of like frustrating, right? So let's see large data sets. So I think how to deal with large data sets, millions of records. Okay, thousands and thousands, millions of features. Okay, so I'm dealing with billions of rows. Like when I imported the 1 and 2 grams, um, I had tables with like 80, like 300 billion rows in them. So was it 300 billion? Yeah, I was in like the billion. There's like many, many, many things in there, like many, many rows. Um, okay, so what are they trying to do here? So they have a bunch of, yeah, this is again binary classification. So, and this is just like loading from a database here instead of from flat files and stuff like that, right? So it's basically showing you how to do that. All right. So what I searched for earlier, ml.net, and there's a tab for this. Yes, I never closed it. So they went through this. So I read a post. So this is, I think, the closest. So what I understand is that the way to do what I'm trying to do, or one way to do what I'm trying to do, is to use a neural net, recurrent neural net, right? And an LSTM. Um, I don't remember what that is exactly, but this just took me to something somebody's obviously trying to sell me, right? Yes, yes, they're trying to sell me a book series. All right. So basically, the way I understand it, the input comes in as string, right? You are awesome. It's tokenized. It goes into the input layer of the neural network, and that input layer then will do tokenization and create something that's called like a word embedding. Um, so I think they're saying, are they saying it here? So, oh, here's something for the basics. Okay, we'll look at that in a second here. Yeah, I'm never using the software again. I'm canceling my subscription. Why machine learning, a bunch of stuff, anatomy, like none of this is really helpful. Like every time I've seen a diagram like this, I'm like, what are they saying? So data goes in to feature engineering and then into this ML algorithm, and then the output comes out. And then there's a loss function which looks at the expected output and kind of says, did we fail? Did we suck at this? Like that's kind of my understanding there of that diagram, but they all kind of like suck, and it doesn't make quite sense, a lot of sense here. So the process is basically um, you get data, right? Scrape it from web, use a data set, whatever. You have your pipeline. This is specific to like ML.net kind of a thing. With the function names here. So your data comes in, you do whatever transformations you need to do to that data, like tokenize it or whatever. If it's an image, you might turn it in, you might remove the color and do some like build a matrix out of the pixels once you remove the color and make it like a 2-bit image. so you can like identify features easier and kind of like feed that matrix in. It's part of like the input layer translation. So that's your pipeline, and then you're training the model, and then you keep iterating on that, etc. And then when you're done, you have a model and you save it when you're happy with it. And then you just load the model and make predictions by calling it a predict function. Real simple, right? So raw data, pipeline steps transforms the data, and then we train it based on the inputs. We evaluate, then we save, and then we load to predict, right? So this is kind of like what they're doing here. So house data, I guess they want to predict the price of a house. So house data, size and price, prediction price. Um, and so what they're doing is they're loading some data. So there's a house, 1.1 size, 1.9 size, 2.8. And then here's the pricing. And they're saying that there's a feature called size, um, which I guess corresponds to that, right? Because it's a feature. And I'll get into my understanding of the features in a bit. Because what's like hidden here is the math part of this, like what's actually happening. Because I was like, see, that's the whole article. There wasn't a lot of value in this article. It's not really telling us, it's just showing us like the mechanics of writing code for this, right? Load some data, transform, we're going to create a feature, right? This is like this has a special meaning in concatenate. So we're going to add a size feature to this. And we're going to use this trainer, these are different like algorithms. So we're going to use the column name price, which is coming from here. And so that's going to be a label, right? Features and labels are two different things. Features, think of the label as something you want, and then the feature is an attribute that, well, not something you want, but like, so what are the features of a price, right? So in like a house, it's square footage, it's zip code, it's year of construction, all those types of things would be features, right? Where the label that those features are associated with are is your price in this case, right? Um, so then yeah, they train their model, you now have a model, and then you make a prediction. So they're saying if the house is this, what should the price be? And let's see. So let's actually take this and let's run it. Is that hard to see? Is that good?
Zarks 2. Said nope, visible.
Okay, cool.
Zarks 2. Said all good.
All right. So now I just need to lower that in my ear because it's like you're yelling in my ear. All right. So this is like nuts how slow this is. Like this is not using my GPU at all. Um, so predicted price for 2,500 square foot house is 272K, right? So let's do this again. So let's do while console or while true, and let's do console.read line, and so this is going to multiply it by 1,000, I guess. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do I want to have the input. I want to play with it a little. I want to see like how it works. Um, so we're going to just do this over here. We're going to cheat and just do it real sloppy. So console.read line, and yeah, so this is like a 24 core machine with 65 gigs of RAM, and I've never had these problems the other day when I was trying to do float.parse. Float.parse, and it turns out I don't need to put the F there because it wasn't taking a string before. All right. Yeah, so we're just gonna not make a mistake here. All right, so 2.6, 2.7. What happened? Oh, I know why, because I had the thing at the top here. That's why. Yeah, so I have to just remove this one here. Um, so like this is pretty straightforward. This is like a simple, straightforward regression algorithm, right? So with like one feature, so if size is a feature, so if size is a feature, then that's the only thing that it's based on. So you could do this in Excel. Like this is like that easy, right? Um, so let's say 1.1. So 127K, does it give the same answer? Yes. So 2.5, 2.45. Oh, look at that. Why is 2.45 more expensive? All right, that's kind of weird, right? Here, let me make this a little bigger. Um, oh, that's cool. Look, it brought the console window up on the right-hand side of the stream. That's kind of cool. Um,
Zarks 2. Said yeah.
all right, so now let's do 5. So if 1.1 is that, okay, so if let's do 2, it's not exactly even because it's taking account into like, I guess the differences. Yeah, there we go. So that's pretty cool, right? So now let's say floors, right? Number of floors. Floors equals 1. And let's say floors equals 2. Oh, hold on, let's do this. I want to add floors to this thing, and I want to see, we're going to add a second feature, right? So let's go here and floors is a uh, integer, I guess. I don't know why they're using floats for, well, I guess I know why they're using it for there. So floors, right? So floors is going to be there. So we're gonna, I always forget the shortcut here. So edit, advanced, multi-caret. Does anybody remember the shortcut for multi-caret? Multiple carets. Okay, so can shift alt period. No, that's not what I wanted. Like in VS Code, right? Shift alt. There we go. Okay. So then floors equals 1. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to go 2. And for 2 floors, let's make it 1.9. And for 2 floors on this one, so this is a larger house and the price is 230K, I guess. So for this one, let's add, since it's now 2 floors, let's, oh, so for 2 floors, 2.1, and then let's make this 2.9 for the 1 floor. Actually, no, that's fine. The 2.3, but then let's do 3.1 here, and then for 2 floors of this one. So it's actually, these are going to double, right? Because you're doubling your square feet, right? Because you're doubling your square feet because you're like on top of each other, right? So 2.9, so that's going to be 4.8, right? And this is not approximate, so let's just put some variation in there. Because you might have like, you're not actually doubling it because you might, in some houses, you might have like a loft area where it's open over the first floor. Like you go up the stairs and you can look over the thing and see the railing and see like the downstairs. So it's probably not going to be like double. So perhaps this is just like 2.5 because it's like real open upstairs. And let's see. So now we've got this guy. So the price for this one, let's leave that price the same. And and then for this one, we're gonna do 39 because maybe there is no loft.